Did he also mention to me in the past the corruption related to the DNC server? Absolutely. No question about that. But that's it. And that's why we held up the money. Look back to what happened in 2016. Certainly was part of the thing that he was worried about in corruption with that nation. And that is absolutely appropriate.
What's described as a quid pro quo.
Get over it. There's going to be political influence in foreign policy.
There you go. And that was the line that the Mick Mulvaney is having trouble shaking at this hour. The media grilling acting White House Chief of Staff Mick Mulvaney, claiming he admitted to a quid pro quo during Trump's phone call with the Ukraine. But are the Democrats trying to spin his words more severely than they're supposed to? Here to react, former White House press secretary, Fox News contributor Ari Fleischer. You watched this, Ari.
Yep.
Did he make things better or worse?
Worse.
Why?
Well, first of all, that is the reddest, hottest room on earth. And you don't go and take that podium unless you're aware of every implication of every word of every sentence that you say. And he went too far. He tried to explain the intricacies of foreign policy on such a red-hot issue that he made a terrible mistake.
And what was that mistake?
Well, his mistake was saying something that's contrary to what the president has said. The president has said there was no quid pro quo, and that's exactly what his chief of staff should have said. And then he tried to come out later with a statement to explain it. But I think what happened here is Mick Mulvaney is a very smart man, and in this instance, I think that his words were moving faster than his mind. And he should have stopped, paused, slowed down, and not tried to educate reporters. He just should have said what needed to be said.
And we walked it back by saying the flow of security assistance to Ukraine was not conditioned on Kiev investigating conspiracy related to the 2016 interference, walking back his statements.
Right.
But saying that I want correct, you got to show to me that it's not going to go into a rabbit hole or a sinkhole, and you have a history of corruption, show me there's not corrupt. That's normal.
Okay, now that would have been fine. But the problem here, and this goes to the original call the president made to Zelensky, if it was all about corruption and that was the only thing the president talked about or Mulvaney talked about, perfectly appropriate. But once you bring in the name of your opponent, Hunter Biden, Joe Biden, once you talk about the 2016 election, you've gone beyond corruption. You've made it political, personal, and that was the central flaw here that we're all discussing.
So, Ari, the other big thing is leaking out yesterday. You know, the Democrats do seem like they're running an impeachment script. They all seem to be saying the same thing. The networks seem to be keying on the same thing. I don't know how that is that NBC and CNN say the same thing as Democratic lawmakers, but it seems to happen. See, I want to throw some of these words at you that Democrats are using and tell me what you think. This is one of your many areas of expertise. National security endangered by President Trump. He is undermining our elections. Look at 2016. He doesn't investigate 2020. Abuse of power. He is trying to save $400 million is linked to him getting what he wants on Biden. And no one is above the law, saying the president's doing something that exceeds his office. So are they working? Are those buzzwords working?
Yeah, those are the Democratic talking points put out by the office of Nancy Pelosi, the Speaker of the House. And look how short they are. Look how quick summaries they are. They're actually well done for being on the attack. The problem is they're all wrong. They're factually, substantively wrong. And the bigger problem is whatever President Trump has done, and I've criticized him for it, this is not the stuff of impeachment. This is where the Democrats just want to impeach him because he won in 2016 and they've never liked him. He is not going to get impeached over the phone call to Ukraine. He's going to get impeached over the 2016 election and its results. Inappropriate by the Democrats. This is not impeachable, so they can have all those magic words on a paper. We are about to have a partisan impeachment, which we've never had before. And then they're going to no conviction in the Senate. We're going to have wasted everybody's time in this country.
And then we're going to maybe make this so routine that every time a party's not in power, they impeach the president. That's what worries me. It's abuse of the entire system.
Much more like a no confidence vote than a real impeachment in America.
But for the record, I have full confidence in Ari Fleischer to handle just about everything, except for the Yankees.
Go Yankees.
Yeah, they're not.
Killer.
They might be going home. One more loss. Thanks, Ari.